Hey, good evening, fam. Good evening. Listen, I hope today, right? Um, I hope it don't seem like I'm picking on my African people today because I'm not, right? I just kind of want us to think about how we do things, right, and just to do things, a little bit better, right, and a little bit smarter, right? And because what I want us to do is like, if we come here to America, right, the ultimate goal is to do better for our family and to be able to create like generational wealth, right? So, one of the things that's always bothered me, right, with a lot of Africans, right, when they come to America is they come here, right, and they wanna work their butt off, which is awesome, right? And they wanna take their money, right? Hard on money, right, and start to build their house back home, right? Because back where I'm from, it's not like you can go to the bank and get a loan like America to build your house. So your house has to be built, with hard-earned money, your cash that you make and things like that. And which I'm not against. I'm not against having your house being paid for cash. I'm not against. But here's what because I ran across a gentleman. Well, we talked on the phone. He was a referral, and he was like, "Oh, I don't believe in life insurance, and I don't believe in investing in the American way. I'm gonna send money back home." This is a 35-year-old gentleman, right? And I'm like, "Well, who is giving you this advice?" Oh yeah, my dad said, American system is trash, and just build your house cash back home. Like I said, I'm not against that, right? But this is what I proposed to him. And I said, listen, instead of taking that money and sending it home every single month, right? I said, well, let me ask you a question. How much have you started the plan? It's like, yeah. I was like, all right, cool. It's like, how much are you sending home every month to try to build this house? It's like anywhere between $15 to $2,000. I say, so when's the project gonna be over? It's like, oh, probably about 5 or 6 years or so, or whatever like that. I'm like, all right, cool. So you're 35, you're still young, right? No problem. I said, let me show you something. And I ran some numbers, some illustration for him, right? And I was like, let me show you how you can cover yourself all the way around and do the things that you want and be financially secure when you leave here. See, the thing with our people is this: you working your butt off, right? And you send this hard on money back home, right? To build the house cash, right? That money, right? You can be using that money itself, right? To help you make money. Then once you've made money, then you can pull some of that money and go buy your house cash while still having some money left because the money you invested, right, was compounding and making interest and earning interest for you, right? That's how you make money work, right? Because if you taking all your money to build this house, right? Then let's say once the house is done. Now, it saves 5 years. As far as I know, it never works out the way you plan. There's always some things, some little thing that's gonna come up that's gonna extend it like another year or two. So we're about 7 years or so, right? I said, let me show you something. Have you ever heard of an index universal life policy? He's like, no, what is that? I was like, it's a life insurance policy. He's like, oh, I don't want to do anything like I said, just give me a second. Just give me a second. Hear me out here, right? I said, if you open up the life insurance policy and you make your deposits, right, every single month, right, and you are contributing into this policy. Let's say you're doing $1,500 a month into the policy, right, and let's say you do that for, let's just say 20 years. And I say 20 years because you still have time, brother. I want to show you how you can invest your money and still do what you want to do and still have a crap load of money that you're gonna be balling out in Nigeria. That's where he's from, right? He's like, okay, I'm willing to listen. Let me hear what you gotta say, right? I was like, all right, cool. You invested in this policy, $1,500 a month, right? And you invest all the way to you. Let's say you age 20, right? And I said, hey, what kind of house you want? It was like, I want like a 6 bedroom, you know, big property, in like Victoria Island or something like that, or Banana Island. I was like, oh, okay, so you trying to ball out, ball out. He's like, yeah. I said, well, how much is that gonna cost, for real? He's like, oh, anywhere between like, 50 million naira to 150 million naira to like 200 naira, whatever. Well, I look up, what that is in US dollars. That's about a little bit over like 100 and something K, right? No problem. Now, if you invest this 100, just $1,500 a month, right? You open the life insurance policy with 750K, for example, right? Cool. And you invest this money every single month, right? By the time you hit the age of 54, 55, somewhere around this, 20 years from now, right? You would have contributed $263,000 into this plan, right? But because what you invested, you actually have now $483,000 cash money. You can now take 200,000 if you have to. If you're gonna factor in inflation because time went by. If you want to do like a bigger house or whatever, you take $200,000 out. Boom, you get your house built, right? That still leaves you with $283,000 cash money, right? Now, let's say you build your house. And for now, you're just going back and forth. You visiting, making sure everybody see you there, and nobody is squatting in your property or whatever like that, right? And then you retire at the age of 65. Remember, you've already taken out $200,000 to build your house. Now you retire at the age of 65 without you making any more contribution, right? By age 65, you have $860,000 in there, right? So you retire, you start contributing by 55, you pull out $200,000 and build your house. And just let the money sit there, the balance sit there, and do what it's going to do, which is compound interest, right? I'm sorry, 795,000. Sorry, right? So let's say let round it off 800K, no problem, right? That you have in there, right? Is that not a better deal than you taking your money and just sending it back home, sending it back home, sending it back home? If you park the money and let the money do what it's gonna do and grow for you, you can now have your house that you pay for 200 grand cash. And then now you are 65 years old in retirement and you have $800,000 US dollars inside your policy that you can be withdrawn from every single month to live off of. My African people, I want you to tell me that don't sound like a great plan. I want you to tell me that don't sound like a great plan. Okay? And that's money that you're living off of. So let's say you pass away. So you withdrawing, when I looked up last time, you can live well in Nigeria with $2,000 to $3,000 a month. I'm talking about you balling, right? Cool. Now, let's say you now pass away at the age of 95, right? Guess what your family's getting now? Guess what your family's now going to get? 5.8 million. That goes to your family. Is this not a smarter plan than for you to go build your house back home? You send your money there, build your house. That money could have made money for you, but you decide to send your money away to build a house, and now you're over there living off of Social Security when you could be living in wealth if you do it this way. I just want you to think about that for a second. You contributed $263,000, okay, by the age of 55, right? Now that money accumulates by the age of 55 to 483,000. You took out 200,000 to pay for your house, cash. That leave you with $283,000 left. You let that money sit in there and do what it's gonna do. Don't touch it. Don't do nothing. Right? right? And by the time you are in retirement, you have 800 and something K cash money in Nigeria to live off of. You are living a life of extravagance. Okay? Then again, you pass away now. So not only do you get your house built, you also living well back home, and then you pass away, right? At the age of 95, and your family still get about $6 million. How much lives did you change? How much lives of your children and your grandchildren? Let me tell you something. They will never forget your name. I can tell you that much. Your grandchildren will never, ever, ever forget your name. Your great grandchildren will never, ever forget your name because you've made them wealthy. Instead of doing what most Africans do, is just send their money back home, send their money back home, send their money back home, and build a house. And then they end up calling their kids every month to send them money for like groceries and stuff like that. Come on, man. Come on, man. Listen, I didn't insult anybody today. That's not my intention. My intention is to make you think a little bit and make you do things a little bit different than you've been told to do it. Okay? The Index Universal Life policy will make you wealthy. Okay? Not only make you wealthy, when you pass away, okay, your family dynamic will be changed for at least 3 generations. If you're interested in something like this, my African people, you can text me at 443-208-5480. That's 443-208-5480. Or you can go to my website, which is TitanEvolutionGroup.com. I look forward to hearing from you soon. Have a wonderful and blessed day.